Alright, so I've been wanting to get back to this one for a while. I really like the scale look of the truck. It performs okay. It does a decent job, but it could always do a better job. So, I've been tinkering around. I have a Lizard Pro in there right now, which may or may not stay. This is what you guys have with this Land Cruiser. I did put some RC four-wheel drive shocks on here, but they're leaking pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, it's still pretty bouncy because they leak like crazy. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking for a different shock option. Gonna come up with something different later on. I don't know. But this is your typical setup. Haven't changed the wheels and tires or anything yet. Has a brush motor. Links seem like they're pretty good if you want to slide on something. I mean, it's pretty much out of the way. You have what looks like portals, if I can get that to focus, portals with a typical straight axle ring gear setup. This doesn't have an overdrive or anything like that in it, at least coming standard anyway. So I know a lot of guys will take and they'll switch out these axles for like SCX 24s and things like that. I'm not looking to do all that yet. I think what I'm going to try is basically a motor upgrade, get myself into brushless, and I think I'm going to take out the Lizard for now because I've got a different setup I want to try. Nothing's wrong with the Lizard, it's just I think that I want to try a different setup. I'm going to leave the steering servo in there for now. It's just the, if I can get it in there where you can see it, just a regular one that comes with it, the FMS one. I don't seem to see any problems with the servo as of yet. And as you can see, it's got this nice slider plate right here. This is typically a trail truck, so I'm trying to kind of stay to the trail form instead of just turning this into an all-out crawler. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do here now. So I'm going to show you the setup and everything that I'm going to attempt to put in here, and we'll just see what kind of differences everything makes. There's plenty of videos out here for the stock form. Obviously, I don't have it in stock form no more. I do have a video on the channel with this in stock form when I first got it. So if you want some reference points, you'll have to look at that one there. But we're going to try a different setup. So let me show you what I'm going to try here first, and we'll just see, you know, how good or bad it makes it. Okay, so I've got two options here. So I can either leave the Lizard Pro in there and use my Komodo, which worked pretty good for a long time on my Atlas 6x6, and this one is the, if I can get it to focus there, the 1400 kV. So maybe I'll try that one first. If that don't work, I'm going to try this Goop RC. Now this one's kind of interesting. It comes in a little kit. Let me get the kit open here. I'll show you what it looks like. So this is what the kit looks like. You open it up. It's got a, kind of looks like an Endura type setup here. This is a 30 amp ESC. If I can get the focus there. And it comes with its own transmission. This is a 2204, which is 2400 kV. They call it a Goop RC or whatever, but this looks very Endura-ish. I mean, I'm sure all these are very similar, guys. It's got a pretty decent sized pinion in there versus this little guy here. So that's obviously a big difference. Just a typical transmission that would mount up to, looks like an SCX24 type setup. But I'm sure there's adapter plates or something that you can get to go to like a CR18 or FMS or whatever, because it's got a little different style of transmission. It's got the 2-bolt down there on the bottom. Don't know if it has the bolt on the top. I don't think it does. I don't see it. So I'm pretty sure that the SCX is different than that one, if memory serves. So I'm going to kind of forego this one for now and try this one just to see if there's any performance differences, which there should be, and just see, you know, what I can get out of it with this setup, because I've already got the ESC right there anyway, so might as well try this out, see how good or bad it does. Okay, so first things first, we got to get these 2 screws out down here, and that should give us access to the transmission assembly. Then we'll take it apart, see what kind of pinions in there, try to match it up with something that I have on here, something small. Maybe that'll mate up, maybe it won't, I don't know, we'll have to just kind of check it out. Okay, so with those 2 screws out here on the bottom, that's all that holds this transmission in here. You'll see that all you have to get access to the motor here on the inside is 1, 2, 3 screws. So you take that off, the cover should come off over here, and there should be 2 screws underneath there to release the motor. Okay, so what I'm going to attempt to do here is I have an Injora adapter plate here for this brushless motor here, which is a Komodo. So what I'm going to do is this will go on here like so, and then this fits on an SCX24 transmission. As you can see, I got that right there. I have to take the adapter plate off. That plastic gear will be getting switched out. I'll probably leave the one on the bottom. And I have a skid plate for an SCX24, which I will have to switch out that. So I have to make sure that all this is going to work before I actually switch it. So let's take a peek at it and find out. Alright, so I've got a couple things going on here. Got the old skid plate out of here. This is the original, and it's just a CR18 skid plate. What's interesting about this is you see this piece right here, that's like an adapter piece. It's kind of weird. So they can use, I guess, the same parts, because that's ideally what it is. So I found a file to download and print that is pretty much the same thing, right? But I was afraid that it wouldn't be long enough. I thought maybe I had the wrong one, so I came up with my own. Basically, I extended the ends on there and just kind of went with my own setup there. Didn't really change too much on the hole locations or nothing there, but you know, it is what it is. Figured that would be the best thing, and that's one I'm going to try here now. But it's interesting that you have an extension right here. I didn't even see that to begin with. So you could really use a CR18 skid plate and just use that little adapter thing if you can find them. Like I said, I didn't even know that existed, so it's kind of a weird but kind of cool addition here that, you know, just kind of like adds a different level to it, because then you could use a lot more parts availability without having to make a brand new setup or whatever. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to get everything lined up. I've decided to go with the Goop RC. So this has an entire setup. It has a little bit bigger pinion. Should really liven this thing up quite a bit. So we're going to get that in there. And I've also changed the tires here. I went with some Mickey Thompson Baja tires. Got a little bit better tread. I took out the foams and stuff there, so we'll see how that does. If not, I'll put them back in. I do like the rims, so I kept the rims instead of using the other ones that I had. So let's get all this together here and just see what differences we have.